When one truly arises, it transcends the 10 realms. Truly, the one who initiates the true intention within this moderation. The original teaching's moderation reveals its nature. Start of lesson is joyful ground. Comparatively, the joyful ground is where the Buddha's teachings inspire the intention. It's very difficult, very challenging. But once you reach this position, you need to completely sever the 41 levels of ignorance to achieve the perfect perspective realm, as the Buddha often says. Still need to. Levels 3 to 27 are from stages 3 to 27 to achieve Buddhahood. It's not about us. It's about the language, called the initial bodhisattva, not the initial ground bodhisattva. Is it spoken to them? Today we are discussing the Avatamsaka Sutra, speaking of countless beings. It's beyond calculation. But if you are very fortunate and your karmic connections are good, if you encounter the Pure Land teachings, encounter the teachings of rebirth, then you are truly fortunate. In this lifetime, you can be born into realm of contemplation. So, you need to recognize clearly the established teachings of the Tathagata. Not only are the Pure Land teachings the established teachings passed down by Shakyamuni Buddha, they are the supreme teachings endorsed by all Buddhas and Tathagatas. They all collectively pass on these established teachings. How do we know? The World-Honored One tells us in this sutra. His reverence for Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha is the most honored. Among the lights, the king among Buddhas. You need to understand Shakyamuni Buddha's praise represents the praise of all Buddhas in the 10 directions. Shakyamuni Buddha affirms that Amitabha Buddha is the king among Buddhas. This means that all Buddhas and Tathagatas affirm it. Amitabha Buddha is the foremost among Buddhas. Today, we aspire to become disciples of Amitabha Buddha. It is an unparalleled honor. All Buddhas will show you respect because you are a disciple of Amitabha. How glorious it is. They respect our teacher and also honor the teacher's students. This is a definite reason why we should become true disciples of Amitabha. Don't pretend to be a disciple of Amitabha, as impersonating a disciple is a serious issue. If you impersonate a disciple of Amitabha, the guardian deities won't forgive you. If you become a true disciple of Amitabha, all Buddhas will show you respect. Why don't we become true disciples of Amitabha? How does one become a true disciple of Amitabha? You need to embrace Amitabha's perspective every day. This means you should read the scriptures daily. Reading. As for the empowerment of the precepts, you should receive the body vow, the body precepts, and the assurance of becoming a Buddha. This is to tell you that you are destined to become a Buddha. The principle is here. The following 2 sentences. The topic discusses Buddhism. This is the world. The mind is the teacher's teaching. The vision is the mother of educating all beings, demonstrating the way to educate all beings. What is this way? For 20 years. That's us now. The overall topic of the lecture? We've already done the overall topic, but the words haven't been hung up yet. In the future, they'll be hung on the couplets on both sides. Learn to be a teacher. Act as a model. Ashari is an exemplary teacher, and it's Indianized. His thoughts, his words, and actions can serve as a model for the public. Exemplary. It's called 20. 20 lei. We translate it as a standardized form or a guideline. Its form can serve as our standard. The meaning of this sentence is very profound. In the sutras and treatises, the Buddha often tells me in a sutra regarding these teachings. We have read them many times. The impression is profound. Buddhism, to uphold, read, recite, and explain to others. These 8 words mean we have learned Buddhism, obtained the Dharma, utilize the extraordinary merits. It is not enough to say it's just for my benefit. Without considering the broader society, without considering 6 realms, 3 evil parts beings. This does not align with the Buddha's wishes and the Buddhist teachings. The Buddha teaches us to make this our own responsibility. Buddha of the world says, teaches us some principles, theories, methods. We need to understand and accept them. Some taboos the Buddha explained. We must comply with them. Only in this way can we attain true longevity. This is a test. After upholding, read books. As mentioned earlier, when you recite once, you are embracing the perspective of all Buddhas and Tathagatas. This is self-reliant. Reciting, it's best to do it aloud. The merit of reciting aloud is much greater than not doing so. Where is the merit of reciting aloud? Recite for others to hear. Let those who have not been exposed to Buddhism hear it. When you read the scriptures, you must read each word clearly. The tone and sound should be pleasant to the ear. It should make people feel joyful, and they should hear it clearly and understand it well. After listening, they will become enlightened. So there are fellow practitioners. Their mood, roughly speaking, is impatient. When reading scriptures, they read very quickly. I heard he finishes Infinite Life Sutra in just half an hour. When asked to recite it daily, he goes, oh, words clear. From start to finish, he rushes through it. In the end, he hasn't understood a single word clearly. This kind of recitation, it can only be said to benefit oneself, not others. So when reading scriptures, every word should be clear. You must understand that reading scriptures is to benefit others. Self-benefit is to remind oneself not to forget the teachings of the Buddha. You should follow the teachings clearly, recite clearly, and let others hear. You might say there's no one around, but if there are no people, there are spirits. Beings that we cannot perceive with our naked eyes. Today we talk about invisible beings. They are countless times more than the visible beings we can see with our eyes. When you read scriptures, let them listen. They benefit from listening. When spirits learn Buddhism and protect the Dharma, the world becomes peaceful. You must know that the chaos in our society starts with the spirits. Once the spirits are in chaos, it becomes extremely difficult to stabilize society. If you want society to be stable, you must first stabilize the spirits. The best way to calm these spirits is through recitation. So the most important purpose of recitation is to read for these invisible beings, to help them grow in their understanding of the teachings. Later, it is also said that the target audience is made very clear, and this is for people, for tangible beings. It is evident that recitation is for intangible beings. This preaching is for tangible beings, the team members. How do you perform? For people? The performance involves demonstrating the risks of heretical teachings. The teachings, all the instructions in the Buddhist scriptures should be applied in our daily lives. Applied in our work. Applied in how we conduct ourselves and interact with others. Like what Jinshan said about what Buddhism teaches us that we must do. We should earnestly and diligently do these things. The things that should not be done, we must absolutely refrain from doing. The most important guidelines in the text, following Jian Jingwen's words. There are 3 sentences. And what is said. Otherwise, those are just minor details. Trivial matters. The most important guidelines for practitioners. Look at the first one in Buddhism. Guard your speech. Do not harm others. This must be achieved. The 3 karmas of body, speech, and mind, the Buddha does not list them in this order. He starts with speech. The karma of speech is a sinner. The karma of speech is the most terrifying. Those who recite the Earth Store Sutra will eventually cross the hell of speech karma. Study the hells and see that there are many types of hells. All are due to the karma of speech. Get corresponding retribution. False speech, divisive speech, and harsh words are very easy to commit. So true practitioners will eventually be in this Buddha hall. Truly see the Buddha hall, body, mind, and world in all directions. Let go of all thoughts, leaving only one thought, Amitabha Buddha. You just decide to succeed. You are truly virtuous. Not even the king can compare. We don't need to ask how to practice. Just wholeheartedly reciting Amitabha Buddha is enough. Stop daydreaming. Now there's another type of person. Not only do they daydream themselves, but they also send others to inquire. Those who inquire others say, this kind of daydreaming is even bigger. It's even more wrong. If you learn Buddhism like this, you'll end up in Avaji hell. Compared to this, many other hells, big and small, are places of retribution. This sutra shows us the three main principles of practice in its title: purity, equality, and enlightenment. Wanting to know so many things every day. How can your mind be pure? The ancients taught us, knowing more things leads to more troubles. Why do you want to know so much? And if you send people to inquire, isn't that a mess? Probably to figure out how to deal with it after inquiring. This is a big problem. This is called creating karma for reincarnation with a mind of reincarnation. And it's all created. 3. The earth prison. Very terrifying. Our duty is to awaken from this place. Other people's matters are none of my business. Why inquire about them? Why should I care about them? So, the Zen master Huineng of the Sixth Patriarch said it well. If one is a true practitioner, they do not see the faults of the world. It's not that the world has no faults, but they are too busy with their own matters to have time to care about others. So, what kind of perspective should we use to view others? As I mentioned earlier, view others with the eyes of a Buddha. We see everyone as manifestations of the Buddha and Tathagata. If they perform good deeds, they show the appearance of goodness for me to see. If they do something else, they show that appearance for me to see. All are Buddhas and Tathagatas, and they have no faults. Where is the fault? The fault lies within myself. When I see and my mind is stirred, I create negative karma. When I see a good situation, I become greedy. When I see a bad situation, I become resentful and I create karma, not them. They are Buddhas and Tathagatas, and we should completely adopt this mindset. A sincere mindset. With this approach to learning, you will definitely become a Buddha in this lifetime. As it is said in the Buddhist scriptures, all sentient beings are Buddhas and Tathagatas. Today, we need to learn these insights and high-level teachings. In the eyes of a bodhisattva, all sentient beings are bodhisattvas. A good person sees all beings as good, while an evil person sees Buddhas and bodhisattvas as evil. We need to understand this principle. This principle is that the environment changes according to the mind. Why don't we cultivate our own Buddha nature? Why don't we reveal our own Buddha nature? To teach others, demonstrate this point. Today people in the world find fault with this and that. We see all sentient beings as Buddhas and bodhisattvas, with equality and respect. It is Samantabhadra conduct. At the beginning of this sutra, it praises the virtues of practicing the conduct of the great master Samantabhadra. This is a true disciple of Amitabha. So, to demonstrate to others is like writing a book. I want to be a role model for the general public. especially to be a role model for practitioners. You have to do it. This is what it means to be a bodhisattva. Who teaches for 20 miles? To teach students or to enlighten all beings. Universally is to awaken. The policy of enlightenment, helping all beings to break through confusion and achieve enlightenment. This is called a bodhisattva of subtle teaching. How to help? By setting an example yourself, being a model. You have to do it. How to truly do it? The next sentence explains it. Always correspond with countless stars. Actions, life behavior. The subtle motivation of the mind. Course, words, created things, like a dream. Behavior must correspond. Correspond with what? Correspond with self-confidence. Correspond with the virtue of nature. Then your mindset is truly the heart of a bodhisattva, Buddha nature. For beginners, we need to talk about the heart actions. Corresponding with self-confidence. This is very difficult. Why it's not fulfilling. With a heart that resonates with another heart. The minimum standard is language called the original intention, bodhisattva. Above the course level, as stated in the Avatamsaka Sutra, 41 stages of major events. We see over 170 groups in the Avatamsaka Sutra. Each person's faith and inherent nature correspond. This is called a transformation body master. Today, we are repeatedly facing life and death. Not a single affliction has been cut off. How do we learn to correspond and execute? Buddhism has set many rules for beginners. If you follow these rules, you will correspond. The rules that Buddha spoke of, I tell you, are the essence of Chu Yuan's heart. The practice of learning continues without interruption. There is never a break in learning to correspond with these. Corresponding execution. There is so much scattered throughout all the scriptures and treatises. Where just do we start learning from? We discover specialized practice in competition, specialized practice in dedication. In this way, the scope of our scriptures and treatises is reduced. The scriptures we use, 3 scriptures and 1 treatise. Or as it is said, in modern times, no scriptures and 1 treatise. It's good for us to rely on this. There aren't too many of these texts. The 5 scriptures and 1 treatise, what is discussed within is still quite fragmented. It's still not easy to grasp. So we, at the beginning, established the Jinzhong Society. I wrote a preface. In the preface, I mentioned the practice path. 5. Clients, this is easy for everyone to remember. The subjects of the practice need to be simple, so you can remember them. Only then can you learn them. If there are too many and they are too complex, you can't remember them, there's no way. So now with mobile phones, think about it. Becoming a monk and guarding 250 streets is too much. You can't remember it, right? If you can't remember them, can you still follow them? There are too many, and there are even more precepts for nuns. And if the lay bodhisattva precepts, like the Brahma Net Sutras 48, are too many, you can't remember them. Can't remember, there's no way. They must be the simplest and easiest, so you can remember them at all times and recite them. In your daily life, when you raise a thought or speak, you can remind yourself, I align myself with this. Does it align with the Buddha's teachings or not? So true practice requires grasping the essentials. We propose 5 subjects, the first being the 3 refuges, put in the Sutra of Infinite Life. The 3 refuges. There are a total of 3. 11 section. The first one, the human and heavenly endowments. In other words, if you can truly achieve this within the 6 realms, you won't abandon human life, won't enter evil paths, reborn in human, heavenly realms. The first line is to be filial to your parents. Have you achieved this? The second line is to serve your superiors. The third line is to have a kind heart and not kill. The fourth line is to cultivate the 10 good deeds. These 4 lines have very deep meanings. We have previously given special lectures on this. Remember these 4 lines. Align your thoughts and intentions. See if your words and actions correspond with this. If they don't correspond, then it's wrong. You must often cultivate a mind that corresponds. The second level is the path of the 2 vehicles, the Ruvaka and Pratyekabuddha. No, the first level is the mundane level. The second level is where the true Buddhist teachings begin, where you start learning Buddhism. Buddhism is built on the foundation of worldly Buddhism. Without practice, you won't gain anything. How can you achieve anything in learning Buddhism? In other words, if you can't even be a good person, how can you learn Buddhism? These 4 lines teach you how to be a person. If you go against these 4 lines, then you're not being a person. If you're not a person, then what are you? A ghost or in hell. What does the ancient book Svajwano say? When spirit injures become demon immortal. What does this mean? If a person abandons their principles, what are they trying? The 5 constants: benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and trustworthiness. These are the constant principles. Everyone should adhere to them. Being a person means you should follow them.